Welcome to Best Car Fixes. This is Mohamed Harun Idris. Please subscribe, share and like. Today we have 2006 BMW 325xi. We have two problems. We have the transmission goes into limb mode, and also we have long cranking, and we have a code for crankshaft. The car is still start, but after you crank it for a very, very long time, maybe from 1 to 6 seconds, 7 seconds before the car start. And we have a crankshaft sensor code. They say they put a crankshaft sensor there, but still, when we come, there is two ways. We have to take the crankshaft sensor out, and there is a way that people can go under the car and try it, or you have to take the intake manifold out. In case we have a really problem like this, it happened to me in one car also, 2003 BMW, and that one is still the car start. Even the crankshaft sensor is no good, or even if you disconnect it, the car will start. Why? Because this car have two camshaft sensor. One is located in this area here. If you see, in this area here, this one. This is one camshaft, and exhaust also the other side. And I believe the computer calculate the two sensors and make the car start and run. So now, in this car, if you need to test the crankshaft sensor, you have to take the intake manifold out and check it there, or you can come to the computer, engine computer, where it's located in this place here, and I will show you where the crankshaft sensor wire is. Come down all the way here. You see this connector, the big connector. Push this one down here. You see we have 3 wires. I mean, after the big wires, you have 1, 2, and 3. Then you come to the red, yellow, and red, and then the next one is the yellow. This yellow wire here is the wire that coming from the crankshaft sensor, or it go to the crankshaft sensor. The crankshaft sensor have 3 wires. One is a 12 volt from a fuse. The fuse is located here. If your crankshaft sensor doesn't have a fuse, one of those fuse here, you pull this box from under, you're gonna push this out, and you see the fuse there. And that fuse feed the crankshaft sensor, the 2 camshaft sensor that are here, and the computer feed a ground. I believe the ground is the next wire, which is a blue, black and blue. Okay, but this one here is the computer feed to the crankshaft sensor. So the computer gives crankshaft sensor 5 volt reference, and when you crank it on the crankshaft sensor, on the flywheel, they are like a teeth. Every time the teeth come near between, and there is a space, every time the teeth come next or near the crankshaft sensor, it will pull down the voltage. The computer know that what piston is it, and does it have to fire the coils or the injectors, and the speed even for the transmission shift. This car have a transmission limb mode, and I believe because sometimes if the transmission doesn't see the engine speed also will create that problem. Now we're gonna test it, all the signal, all the tests for the crankshaft sensor and the camshaft sensor are the same. Okay, this is where you can get the crankshaft sensor wire signal. Now we're gonna test it and see what we have. With the ignition on, I have this voltmeter, I put it here in 12 volt, because 10 volt, because there is nothing more than that. Here we have 2 volt. If you have 10 volt, you can put it in, but we don't have it. So now this is I'm going to connect it here to this wire. Mubarak, please stay quiet. Don't do nothing. This car actually will not run. Okay, now this one is a ground. Open the ignition. Okay, we have like 484, just like 5 volt. Now crank it. It's supposed to go 0. Keep go. You see nothing. That's it. Now, from here, we understand that the signal from the computer is going all the way to the crankshaft sensor. Either the connector is bad, or the crankshaft sensor is not all the way inserted inside, or the wire is broke, or the connector. Crankshaft sensor is bad, wire is no good, or is not well tightened inside. Now, I'm going to give you the example of a good one. Now we're going to come to camshaft. The camshaft, we have camshaft 1 and camshaft 2. Camshaft 1 is intake manifold. The camshaft 2 is exhaust manifold. They are sitting just in the front there. As I showed you before, one of them is all the way there, and one of them for exhaust this side. Now, where are the wires? The wires are here. You see, we have natural wire. You see this big wire here? This big wire here is like a loom of wire. This inside the plastic, inside this black wire. You follow this wire, it have this natural wire. You see this natural wire here? Next to it is a camshaft sensor for intake manifold cam. The other one is for exhaust. So now I'm going to compare the reading. They suppose read or give you the same value like the camshaft or the crankshaft. Just to give you example, I'm going to put this one here. I will get the same. Open the ignition, Mubarak. No start. I will get the same voltage. You open it? You didn't open it. You don't open the ignition? Oh. No start, just open the ignition. Maybe the camshaft, crank it a little bit, camshaft maybe on pulling down position. Leave it, you see now? It's because the teeth is just next to the sensor. Right now we have 5 volts. Now crank it, it's gonna pull it down. You see? That's it. Anytime the teeth come next to the cam, it will pull down. Right now it's pulling it down. But the other one, it never pull. No matter what, it never pulls the system. So what we have to do is we are going to open the intake manifold and view or review all the wires, and have to be sure that the connector is good, and continuity is good, and the sensor is plugged in all the way. They say they put a one from the dealer, but maybe it's been disconnected. Before we go far to check the transmission, when you crank it or when you start the car, you have a transmission sign coming into the car. I will show you that in a few. And then from there we will come back. But this is how you test the crankshaft sensor and where the sensor wire are located.